get her in the throne, and this is where we're going to stay with her. That's like I think they all have like their one thing. They're all like all the teachers, all the tutors, they're in their chair, and Mariah's chair, her throne look. I'm really happy, and we keep coming back to this
Mm.
Oasis scene, and this is where she's going to be for a lot of the. They're not interviews. Is it like? What do you call it? Is it testimonial? It,
Sort of, yeah. I feel like so the way this sort of show the masterclass is structured really is that you've got these kind of like three sort of key sets, and the main one where she's sort of sitting in the throne on a set with like loads of like gorgeous sort of plants around her. You kind of feel like there's someone off camera asking her questions based on whatever episode we're on, and she's sort of answering them, but you obviously don't hear the interviewer, so it sounds like she's just talking to the camera and to us directly. And so here you get a lot of stuff, as lambs we've heard before, but for people that maybe aren't fans of hers or know her as well, it sort of bears repeating. Her mother was an opera singer. She learned from listening to the radio under the covers when she was a little girl. But she says something really interesting about not being classically trained, and that she didn't know the rules of songwriting or song creation. And if she had, maybe songs like Vision of Love and All I Want for Christmas Is You wouldn't exist, because those songs sort of break the rules a little bit. I mean, Vision of Love, particularly, her first single, isn't a traditional pop hit. It's not in a 4/4 time signature. It's sort of like a waltz almost. And it doesn't follow that verse chorus structure like so many pop songs do. So she was just doing her thing, and she talks about that a little bit. And the classic, she didn't know she was producing either, when she was like, can you raise the backing vocals up this, and can you just can the beat drop here? She does all of that, which we've heard before, but it's a really good sort of intro. And it's short, like this. Not all the episodes are the same. The lessons, should I say? Not all the lessons are the same length. So this one's, I think it's about 10 minutes, just under perhaps, and then
no,
some.
the intro, just that first intro, where we get quite a lot, but it's just under 6 minutes.
Yeah. So she rattles through. It's almost like getting us up to speed, and then she can really like go
Yeah.
in with the details.
I was trying to take. I did. I wanted to go through everything like start to finish, but the intro, because like you say, she rattles through, and it is just under 6 minutes. It's the only lesson where, as soon as it ended, I was like, no, I need to watch it again, because I'm trying to take everything in, because we get the Oasis scene, we get the Butterfly Lounge, which is not the Butterfly Lounge that we've seen on social media, where she's it's been mobile and moving around. This is a bigger one where they've set it up for masterclass filming. So there's new set designs, and then we get they let you know what's coming up in
Yeah.
the lesson. So we get clips, and we see a little shot of her with Brandy. So I'm like overstimulated, and I'm trying to take everything in and listen to what she's saying, going, yeah, I've heard that story before, check. Yeah, I've heard her describe, yeah, she's not classically musically trained, check. Yeah, okay, opera singer mother, check. Oh, that's a little bit different. So I did go back and watch the introduction straight away. Do you know what I found weird with this? You said she's obviously been asked questions by someone off camera, and we just don't see that person or hear that person. But there are shots in the Butterfly Lounge. She is talking to people, and the camera starts like pan. You see the backs of their heads. It's like, oh, is this an audience? What is this? And then we see a shot, and she's singing. At this point, she's just talking to the string quartet.
I've grown up loving music since the day I can remember hearing music. I used to steal the little radio and bring it into my room and listen and learn. I would listen to Al Green and Gladys Knight. Like, for me, music saved my life.
And that hasn't been given any context yet in this introduction video. And I'm like, she's talking to them as if it's an interview situation. But I'm like, well, who's she talking to? And then we see it's the string quartet. But they haven't been introduced or been given any kind of well, this is who they are yet. So I'm like, oh, you see them there. So I see the violin. I was like, oh, okay, so this is going to be like a session situation. So there was so much to take in the introduction, but I did find just that one little moment weird initially, where Oh, she's talking to musicians, but they're right in front of her, but she's speaking as if it's like an interview thing. There was a lot going on in the introduction, but I think it set the whole series up really well. They count it as lesson one. I wouldn't call it a lesson; it is an introduction. But I think it did a pretty good job of setting up the whole thing.